Hey Patrick, how's it going?
John, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing all right. So you have some interesting news for me. You said that you've run into some interesting situations with your business, the gun food. Why don't you talk a little bit about the gun food first, and then we'll talk about something that you're dealing with.
Yeah, so thegunfood.com, guns eat ammo. That's what the food is for the gun. So we are thegunfood.com. We sell ammunition and some other small accessories for firearms, and we supply them to pretty much all of the lower 48.
Well, that's pretty cool. So you said that an interesting thing has started to occur. The last was it couple weeks.
Yeah. So they're really our logistics wise, we're running into a couple of logistics issues. And there are rumors in the rumor mill about UPS and FedEx requiring serial numbers to ship parts. Now, of course, I'm not a serialized part shipper per se. I'm not an FFL and I don't have firearms. However, I have been noticing an uptick in stolen packages, and it's really impacting the business.
So now what happens? You've got a package that's coming up missing or stolen, and what are the carriers saying about this?
Well, they try to always blame the customer, or at least shame the customer, right? Oh, you packaged it wrong. It was, we drop it in our facilities, and then it's ours, and whatever excuse they come up with. But for the most part, when we ship ammunition, we have to ship it with a special label on it that's very and easily identifiable. It's a limited small quantities, small arms label that we place on there. It used to be the old ORM-D label,
Yeah.
but now it's the small arms and slightly combustible material label. I don't know exactly what the title is, but when you put that label on a box and your box weighs 40, 50, 60 pounds, some people know what's in it, and that's unfortunate because those people are also stealing.
Wow. So now these packages, because everything is tracked. So are these packages getting tracked to your customers, or are they just not even making it?
They're not even making it, and I don't know what they are doing in the facilities, if they are purposely damaging them. However, they are not making it to the customer. Now, for every package that the gun food ships, we actually ship it everything insured, and usually, depending on the quantity or the value of the shipment, we'll ship it with some type of signature required. So it's funny when they try to say, well, you put in too many claims, and it's like, well, no, I didn't put in too many claims. Our customer never received their package that we had shipped.
Right. And like you should know that because we're paying you to give us a return receipt or a signature. So to me, it should be abundantly clear, to the carrier that you're not putting in too many claims.
Yeah. It's just when the package doesn't show up at my customer, occasionally, it gets very annoying sometimes. So
Well, what are we talking about here? Are we talking about, a couple of boxes of 100 that aren't making it? Like, what kind of numbers? Are you talking one every 10 packages? What kind of volume have you had issues with?
we recently had a couple of big orders that were trying to make their way across to the middle of the country, and we were looking at about out of 18,000 rounds of ammunition that were shipped, we were only successful at about 6,000 of that 18,000 rounds.
Wow.
So
So less than half.
less than half, exactly. Less than almost a third.
Yeah,
Almost a third.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
So
it's really unfortunate too. The supply is getting a little tough, and ammo's like gasoline, right? if your price is off, your price is off. If you're 10 cents cheaper and you live on a state border, you might go to the other side, the other state to go buy your goods, your commodity per se. And so when it comes to ammo, it's the same way. Where if a customer finds it for cheaper, once you tell them that your package is lost, sometimes they'll ask for a refund, and you lose out on that business opportunity, and also it impacts your reputation.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, I mean, you have some pretty strong feelings about, what's going on in the country overall, and from a, see, like, we're not really getting all of the support in Congress that the anti-gun, anti-civil rights groups would like to see, regardless of, what bills were just signed recently and what's being voted on. Let's be honest here. It's not really what they want. But you have some thoughts about how so-called gun control is still creeping its way into society, and kind of a workaround to our laws and our constitution. If you want to share those sentiments.
Yeah, we've seen about three different. We've seen three different things that have impacted the business. Of course, we just talked about the logistics of the business, right, where things are not making it to the end customer. And the most recent one, aside from that, is also the Lake City issue, where the government is starting to really restrict the production for consumers, for the consumer side of the 2A community. And that's really been a huge impact, where they're making it really tough to get certain styles of rounds, certain calibers.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but did Lake City Did they walk back that policy, or is that still current? I don't really remember how that fleshed out.
That is a very good question. I have not tried to buy the type of ammunition that is produced at Lake City in the recent, probably about 4 weeks or so, because we typically have a decent inventory in stock. However, I do know prices on that particular, on basically 5.56 rounds, those prices have kind of stayed still. Everything was going down for a while, and the Lake City ammo, the 5.56 and whatnot, has pretty much stayed still.
Sure. Okay. So now, what were the other things that you were thinking about that have been affecting the way you see business going?
Well, lastly, it's also the financial institutions. There's a lot of financial institutions that will not support your business if you are a 2A business. For instance, a great example would be PayPal. Now, I understand they are a private company. However, we're not selling weapons. We're selling ammunition. And I know plenty of other folks who were involved in, like, martial arts, for instance, a boxing gym, where they would sell, training opportunities, and they would consider that a weapon, or weaponizing humans per se, and they would essentially say, no, you can't have it. When I first started the business, PayPal in particular, they actually closed my personal account down in addition to my business, my credit card portal per se, to my business, and they withheld money, and I still have not seen that money to this day. My first 2 weeks of business.
Really? So they just confiscated the funds?
They confiscated the funds. I have to mark it as a loss. They don't have to mark it as a gain. Of course, they'll brag about it. They'll say, like, we've had, accounts that have not showed up to collect. There's no way for me to collect aside of taking them to small claims, which is only a portion of the money that they actually took.
Right. Okay. And now these issues that you've noticed, like the shipping issues and the ammunition not making it to customers and things like that, is this happening other places? Are other companies affected by this too? I mean, you must be, in contact with a lot of different distributors.
Yes. A lot of people are impacted by it. In fact, I in the investigation from the shipping aspect, we actually got involved with a couple of other folks to say that here in the greater Atlanta area where my business is based out of, we've ran into issues where people have not received their ammo, and we noticed it on both ends. I believe one of my distributors has actually lost over $200,000 worth of ammunition that just wound up missing.
And what's the carrier saying? So sad, or are they able to get their money back? I mean, are you able to get your money back that is basically lost from these packages, or what's your recourse?
Well, fortunately for us, we've changed our policy on how we ship so that we pretty much provide them with a picture of how the box is packaged, as well as the actual box on the conveyor belt when it's scanned by the courier service. So they really don't have a foot to stand on when it comes to did this package make it to the customer? No. And did the package get dropped off? Yes. So you can't really deny that. However, some of my other distributor buddies in the industry, they've lost out. They've had they're on the hook for supplying ammunition, and ammunition is not something that you necessarily want to mess around with. For instance, if you're selling ammunition to a police department, or if you win a bid for a police department, you don't want that police department to be without ammunition. That's not a good day for a lot of folks.
Sure. No, I could see that being, problematic. Well, Patrick, I definitely appreciate your time. Is there anything that you'd like to add, something out to my readers and anybody listening in on this interview, about what's going on or anything in general?
Yeah, be very leery of the companies that you do business with, even on a personal level. As I had mentioned before, my personal accounts were shut down because of my relationship with my business, and it just was not fair at all. I basically lost out on all the money that was held in those accounts. And just be very leery of supporting businesses that don't believe the same beliefs that you believe in, regardless of whether it's 2A or not. So yeah, just be a little leery of who you do business with.
Yeah, I got you. Well, where can people find you, Patrick? Thegunfood.com, is that your website?
Yes, sir. It's thegunfood.com. We have all the ammo you need. If you don't see it up there, just hit us up, shoot us an email. We'll be more than glad to help you out.
And then what about, you do socials? Are you Facebook, Instagram, Twitter? Where are you there?
I am the Gun Food on Instagram, as well as the Gun Foodie on YouTube.
Okay, that's perfect. Well, thank you, Patrick. I definitely appreciate your time, and I thank you for talking to me about this. I hope you have a great day.
All right. Take care.
All right, bye-bye now.